Tapi
女の子ばっかりでしょ。4号線で4分ですね。
降車後、保証金をお受け取りください。
Yeah, it's a brand new day, day, day. Just give that dream some wings. You make me wanna dance, dance, take a chance. Show up at the party and they give you that glance. VIP, you're looking so fancy. You know you want to burn, burn, burn,
お小遣いです。
Cause you're a candle in the dark. Every beat of your heart makes you burn, 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 burn. Glowing like a star. Show 'em who you are. Just let your body
おお、
なんでこれさ、口つける場所だけこっちなんだろう。
そうだね。
じゃあ向こうじゃん。
I like the way you drop that bass.
なんかそんなの感じですよ。
DJ. Just let your body rock, rock.
歌詞が薄っぺらいね。おう。
やばい。なんで？
Just let your
最高
body
に美味しい
go and slide it left to right.
よ。姉妹と同じようなやつが好きかな。
I can tell you really feel it on the inside, so let those feet go tonight. It's a non-stop party. Come on, move that body, make them all go wow. Look at you breaking
なん
it
か
down.
スルスルいける感
Just let your body rock, rock like you never wanna stop, stop. Like I like the way you move that thing. I like the way you drop that bass. Just like a DJ, DJ. Just let your body rock.
こで例えば4500って書いてるでしょ。日本円にするときは0以降消したらいい。そうそうって考えたら。
かわいい。両方リボンがついてる。1回ある。
1万元じゃなくて1万ウォンじゃない。
間違えた。
ポリース。警察の車だ。これはキアね。KIA。
練乳だ。最高。一番花丸ポルトガルです。これでやっとかき氷にたどり着けるよね。チーズケーキだ。 財布セットになっていて何これ
で地下鉄のどの線が上なんで
何
これはなんかドラクエの魔法みたいなの。あ、これわかんないね。
長っ子供じゃないでしょあれなんかこれ絵が違うねほら
はい、2枚目が子供用だった。
The train bound for Seattle is now approaching.
这边是有黄俊龙这样来点缀的。
どう
だ
ああ、そっかね。
あ
この電卓面白いね。
ガチャガチャ言う。ビールがあります。ここ
はい。あれ？
カッコ入ってる。
ちいかわが
これ目がやばい。
これだったらさ、みなちゃんちょうど良さそうな気がする。これは切れそうなの。
Yeah, it's a brand new day, day, day. Just give that dream some wings. You make me wanna dance, dance, take a chance. Show up at the party and they give you that glance. VIP, you're looking so fancy.
あ、可愛いですか。
Burn, burn, burn. 'Cause you're a candle in the dark. Every beat of your heart makes you burn, 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 burn. Glowing like a star.
食べ放題。
食べ放題って食べ放題って
Your body rock, rock like you never wanna stop, stop like I like the way you move that thing. I like the way you drop that bass. You mix me up just like a DJ, DJ. Just let your body rock, rock like you never wanna stop, stop like you know we bring the party. You know you wanna. You know we bring the party. Just let your body rock. Go on, slide it left to right. Move it, move it, move it like Mike. I can tell you really feel it on the inside. So let those beats come to life. It's a non-stop party. Come on, move that body. Make them all go wild. Put your feet down. Just let your body rock, rock like you never wanna stop, stop like I like the way you move that thing. I like the way you drop that bass. You mix me up just like a DJ, DJ. Just let your body rock, rock like you never wanna
なんか書いてあるような。
これちいかわじゃないの。
なんか書いてあるんだけど。
know you wanna. You know we bring the party. Just let your body rock, rock that party. Come on, move that body. Just let your body rock, rock like you never wanna stop, stop like I like the way you moving that thing. I like the way you dropping that bass. You mix me up just like a DJ, DJ.
マジで使えるやつ。
Just let your body rock, rock like you never wanna stop, stop like you know we bring the party. You know you wanna. You know we bring the party. Just let your body rock.
実際雑に切ってんのが面白かった。
見てよかった。よかったね。
エドレンジ。ストロベリー。
じゃあお店の人に。
はい。
終点。
私の嫌いな肉味だ。美味しい。もうね、
なんで？
少なくします。
お、すごいね。
やばい。でもこうやって塗られてる感じがするのさ。ほら。
So glad you made it. Party's just beginning. I'm on your playlist, and I like the feeling.
飾りたかったから
Stay
みんな
a
ここにある。
while, but just sit and idle. We don't have to be here. We can go a million miles. Live in the moment. It's so overrated. When I play the game, it's my only entertainment. Now we're not socializing. Put me on an island. Got that egomania and don't care what the price is. Don't care what the price is. Don't care what the price is. Got that egomania and don't care what the price is. Don't care what the price is. Don't care what the price is. Got that egomania and don't care what the price is. I've been prepared, made for the big screen. I play the villain if it means I'm on the TV. When I'm internet famous, get my 15 minutes. Tell me what you're craving. I'm more baby. So give your worst. Not my problem. I do the first. I stop anything. Don't care what the price is. Don't care what the price is. I'm that egomania and don't care what the price is. Don't care what the price is. Don't care what the price is. I'm that egomania and don't care what the price is.
前の方から正面で撮っていただいて大丈夫です。戻りましょう。
なんかさ、バンズとハンバーガーのハンバーグの具が合ってないんだ。
肉が大きすぎるって。
まあいいんだけど。
いらっしゃいませ。到着券お願いします。
よいしょ。
飛行機でやったら火事になる。いいだよ。分かった。言ってなさそうに言うやん。ちょっと日本の空気が吸える。